Okay, this is for voice. We're going to be talking about polychlorinated biphenyls, and I think we also get into metabolites or metabolites. I don't know what is the proper pronunciation actually.
Metabolites.
I think so.
Sounds
Yeah.
better.
There's probably asbestos in here. If you ever read for that, you can get practice on that. So adenocarcinoma.
Oh, well, they have it differently. I'm not saying anything. It's the way we pronounced everything is probably different.
Okay, so let's start on page 18, line 2, please, and I am the witness.
I am Mr. Starbuck for plaintiff. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I'm just reading this. Flip this.
Costello.
Who am I, everybody?
Costello.
I am Mr. Costello for the plaintiff, sorry.
I am Mr. Mosseri for defense.
You're the court, Judy.
I'm the court.
Oh, no, wait, there is Gibbs in here. I'm so sorry, you guys. Yep, go ahead, Judy.
Gibbs
You
and
can
I'm
be.
Mosseri. I can do both.
Oh, that's what you do. Yes.
Let me
yes,
do
yes,
both.
Yes.
Okay, Gibbs and Mosseri. Okay. Help me to remember that.
Good person.
Except wait, I don't know. I'm so sorry. Hold on. Okay, I'll take that. We're done with that for a while. Put it away.
Oh, is that you making all that
It's
noise?
just,
I know, these things are
it's
not
just the
very.
wheels, here,
Okay,
if I
hold on.
can come in, if I just go in like
Let me
this.
move my water.
You don't have to move, I need to spin my legs.
Okay, let me, and then I'll go out.
Like if you
go
fit in there, that's fine.
Oh,
Then I
okay.
can go over.
Okay, like right there. Okay, we're good.
I guess.
Are we good?
Sorry.
Sorta.
Uh-oh, this is tough, Jim. That's
It's
okay.
just funny when you go. Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's do that, but that's
Okay, we do have a court now.
I think we got it.
He's a, oh, she's a.
What?
Mr. Gray.
What? What else is new?
Whew. Speaking of temperatures, kind of stuffy in here, isn't it? In fact, I'm feeling like
Yeah.
it's really warm. I wonder what Pam does in that fire control room when she goes and messes with it. Does she leave the room and go mess with it this first period?
She did not.
No, not today. I don't know what she's doing when she's not in here. First I heard of it.
Okay, we're gonna do 5 minutes. Actually, we'll do 3 minutes. And we're gonna read it back. And yes, Candy, you need to participate. Okay? And so you know what, I'm probably gonna go 4 minutes and we're gonna go from the first page. Candy left me. Someone's at the door. Yeah, right. I'm gonna say, how convenient. Okay, well, you know what then, Ann, I'm gonna assume the first part was pretty tough.
It was worse than the last part.
Yeah, so let's go in, this is always good for you to look anyway in your notes. Let's go into, well, kind of the first Q&A. So it follows the court, says yes, sure, and then Mr. Houston comes in, the tape that we just listened to.
Okay. So it would, I guess, be a question by Mr. Houston?
Yeah, it was hard to tell because it kind of came out of nowhere.
The tape that we just listened to.
Mhm.
Answer, yes. Question. After this tape,
Okay,
not making her do any?
she wasn't there.
I have the court, the court, and then Mr. Campbell, and that's it.
You want to do some from the beginning?
I literally only have the court.
Oh, okay, yeah. Her door, it was the cops. Right.
I object.
I'm kidding you.
I guess,
Okay. We're gonna go back and hit it one more time. Just
67. What's
first page. Court starts and let's read in 15s, please.
The court, for the record. Why don't you stop that for a moment? For the court's verification, does the defense claim there's anything happening on these 12 pages of transcript that goes to the issue of inadmissibility of any of the statements that happened after this?
Yes,
What is that other than the overall length?
I think that in and of itself is one of the factors the court should consider, so that should be part of it. For some reason, my pages aren't numbered, the copies that I have.
Tell me what's at the top.
I was on the wrong set, that's why.
There's obviously some discussion regarding the medications. Is there any defense claim that somehow the government was holding out on medications in order to get him to talk?
No, I don't think there's anything in this set.
How much time does this tape take?
There's actually 2 sides, Your Honor, and they're 60-minute tapes.
So at least 120 minutes from when Detective Vieira leaves to the point that he returns and starts up his interview?
Yes, in fact, I believe Detective Vieira testified that it was about 4 hours from the time that he left to get the search warrant to the time that he arrived.
Okay, why don't you go into the issue of when this particular conversation is taking place? Is it as memorialized by People's 34 when it ends? I'd like to know whether Detective Vieira is there yet or if there's another tape that goes on for a part. Maybe you can address that issue?
With the detective,
Yes, sure.
the tape that we just listened to,
Yes,
that was basically tape number 1 that you marked as tape number 1. And after this tape is finished, both sides, what happens next? You put it on another tape.
put in a fresh tape.
Is the defendant and yourself still talking about,
We're carrying on a conversation.
and it's a dialogue, it's not a monologue, right? Both sides are talking.
Correct.
Okay, and there's another tape after this one in regards to your conversations with the defendant, correct?
Correct.
And this next tape that we have also, was Detective Vieira present at that one?
No, he was not.
Okay, and in this tape, basically, I don't know if it's the tape or the tape recorder, but what is the gist of your conversation that you have with the defendant in regards to this tape that we were just listening to?
Tape 1.
Yes, you reviewed the transcript?
Yes, in tape 1, it was me introducing myself to Mr. Mayor and just chit-chatting with him about a variety of topics.
There were some paramedics that were called?
Yes,
Who called them?
I believe I did or one of the officers there did.
What was that?
Either I or one of the officers did.
What was the reason for that?
Mr. Mayor was complaining about an injury he sustained to his head about 5 days earlier.
At some point, do you have a conversation with the defendant about cigarettes?
Yes,
What was that conversation in regards to?
he was talking about wishing he would have had some cigarettes. I offered him one. He kept telling me that he had to collect cigarette butts that he would find on the street to save and make a whole cigarette, and he wished he had saved the tobacco that he found.
In regards to calling the paramedics and the cigarette incident, for lack of a better term, was this done on your part to gain favor with the defendant?
No,
Is it done just because you were being a nice guy,
yeah,
for lack of a better term?
yeah,
You weren't trying to soften him up or gain his confidence in any way?
no,
And at this time, Detective Vieira is still not present?
correct,
And have you had any contact with Detective Vieira at this time?
no,
When the paramedics arrived, they checked him out, correct?
correct.
Was he offered to go, did the paramedics offer to take him to the hospital?
Yes, they did.
What, if anything, was the defendant's response?
That he didn't want to go with them.
Okay, nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-examination just regarding that line of testimony before we get into the next tape in sequence?
Well, actually, I have something I want to go back and clarify.
Okay.
Do you remember testifying at the preliminary hearing with regard to the phone calls that came in during this entire time?
Yes,
Okay, and I'm bringing your attention to page 86 of the preliminary hearing transcript. This is sort of a dialogue between you and me. It indicates that Michael Mayer called back. Is that correct? It was the question that you were asked, and you said yes, and then I asked you. You said that he called at other times. Is that correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
Line 16.
Asked and answered. I think we've been down this road.
The thing, He didn't answer it the same way, so I guess I'm impeaching.
He's referring to the prelim transcript for impeachment, or otherwise he's permitted to do that. The objection is overruled.
And I asked you,
You're on page 86.
beginning line 16,
Go ahead.
and it says that, actually 13, I apologize. Michael Mayer called back. Is that correct? And that's the time he made the statements. First of all, in doing further investigation and talking to Officer Borges, you determined that's probably incorrect. That's not when the statement came in. Is that right? That he made the statements to Michael Mayer that you recorded? They weren't during this time, were they?
I'm completely lost.
All right.
What?
Skip that topic. We'll get into that later anyway. He called it other times is my question, and you said he called it other times. That's on line 19. Is that correct?
Yeah, stop. Okay, that's gonna end the practice recording.